Hey guys, my name's Jono. I'm a former lawyer turned full-time filmmaker based in Sydney, Australia. And in this video, I wanted to give you guys my honest opinion on what it's like being a lawyer versus trying to start your own business. If you're new to the channel, just a little bit around my backstory. I started my career as a lawyer back in 2019. And whilst I was working full-time as a lawyer in the corporate world, I also started up a videography side hustle in 2020 with my best mate Jason, who was studying in law school at the time. After working 3 years full-time as a lawyer, at the start of 2022, I decided to quit my cushy, well-respected and high-paying corporate job as a lawyer to pursue my dream of starting up a videography business. And over the last 2 to 3 years since 2022, my best mate Jason and I have managed to grow our little videography side hustle into a multi-six-figure business. And so having spent 3 years working as a lawyer in the corporate world and now approaching 3 years of running my own small business, I want to give you guys my personal thoughts on both options, and hopefully it'll be helpful for those of you guys in this community who are thinking of pursuing either option, or you might be currently working in a 9-to-5 job looking to make the leap into entrepreneurship. I'm going to break this video down into 3 key topics which, from my experience, encapsulates the biggest differences between these two parts. Number 1 is status and prestige, which is a really juicy one, time and responsibility. So let's start off with the juicy one, which is status and prestige. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, status and prestige is probably one of the biggest perks about being a lawyer. As soon as you tell someone new that you're a lawyer, there's naturally this really impressed look that ultimately comes out. The most common response when someone asks, hey, what do you do for work? And you say, I'm a lawyer, is, oh wow. And having grown up in an Asian immigrant household, it's every Asian parent's dream to have a kid who's either a doctor, lawyer, or an engineer. So being a lawyer, I was basically the Asian poster child for my entire family circle. All the Asian parents in our family friends group used to use me as the gold standard for their kids as well. And they used to always say things like, hey, why are you not more like Johnny? Which is what they used to call me when I was growing up. And so you can probably imagine people's reaction when I decided to quit my job as a lawyer to start my own videography business. He had a well-respected 6-figure job as a lawyer and he gave all that up to be a videographer. Like, is he going crazy? I went from seeing people's reactions being like, oh wow, you're a lawyer, to, oh, how's your little photography business going? Are you still doing that? And I'm not gonna lie to you, when I first made the jump to start my own business, this was something that I definitely had to get used to. But over time, since starting and running my own business, what you learn to do is start paying less attention to the opinions of other people. And sometimes that even includes the opinions of close friends, loved ones, and even your parents or people that you look up to, which can be extremely difficult. But in my opinion, if you are on a path that's currently not bringing you any fulfillment and it's a path that you don't really see yourself pursuing for the next 30 to 40 years, you can't let other people's opinions or the attraction of status and prestige stop you from pursuing what you truly want to do in life. Life's too short, so you may as well take risks and live a life that's true to you. By the way, if you are a beginner videographer who's looking to turn your passion for videography into a high income skill, then you're going to love our free 7-day videography email crash course. In this 7-day email course, I debunk some of the biggest myths that hold a lot of beginner videographers back and the crucial elements that you need to focus on to take your journey to the next level. So go sign up, it's completely free, link in the description box down below. Don't forget to check out our other free resources, our creator kit, which contains our pre-production templates to instantly improve your videos, and our free S-Log LUT to help you instantly achieve cinematic looking footage. So moving on to one of the biggest downsides of being a lawyer was definitely the lack of control over my time and schedule. The legal industry is a very competitive and client-facing industry. So if you're a lawyer who is servicing a bunch of different clients like I was, then your time and your schedule is ultimately at the whim of your client's demands. Working late nights, fast turnaround times, tight deadlines, get something done by close of business today was a very common saying, and working on weekends was a pretty common thing in corporate life as a lawyer. And as I looked at the seniors who were 5-10 years ahead of me, and I looked at the demands that their roles placed on their time, it didn't seem like it got any better. It seemed like the higher that you climbed up the corporate ladder, the more demands it actually placed on your time. And this was definitely something that I didn't particularly enjoy. And so since transitioning into starting my own videography business, I've definitely had more control over my time and schedule. Yes, our videography business is still very client facing, but as long as you learn how to set client expectations and manage your deadlines, I find you actually have quite a lot of control over what your daily and weekly schedule looks like. One of the great things about running your own business is that you can also leverage other people's time. For example, last year, Jason and I had to go to Germany to attend a friend's wedding. I ended up also staying there for a few extra weeks to attend another friend's wedding in Slovakia and to also show my family around Europe. And during that time, we still had a bunch of corporate and wedding shoots going on, and we were able to hire other people to go do the shoots whilst we managed the editing and client relationship. And that is one of the benefits of running your own business compared to working for someone else, is that you are able to leverage other people's time to do some of the work for you so that you can free up your work to do other things. Okay, so now moving on to the third topic, which is responsibility. One of my favorite things about being a lawyer was definitely being able to work on really large scale projects for some of the biggest companies in the country. Being able to work on projects with really smart people and solving really intellectually stimulating problems was definitely something that I found quite exciting. And when you're working on and sometimes even managing such large scale projects, that ultimately comes with an element of responsibility and pressure. I remember in my first year as a lawyer, I was responsible for this piece of advice that got sent out to the client. And for the entire week after that piece of advice got sent out, I was stressing in my mind going, oh crap, what if I did the research wrong? What if I gave the wrong advice and the client loses money over it? Obviously at the time I was quite junior, so this thought was pretty irrational because my work was obviously approved by some of my seniors that had 20 plus years of experience. And that's one of the great things about working in corporate, is that you do have those layers of protection. If you make a mistake, there's levels of reviews above you so that what ultimately gets sent to the client is up to standard. This is completely different when you're starting your own business because you are basically the last line of defense. Everything, whether it's good or bad, ultimately falls back on you as the business owner. So it's your reputation that's on the line. When your business starts growing and you need to hire people to help you do some of the work, if they screw up, that ultimately falls back on you. And that sense of responsibility for other people's work is definitely something that I've had to get used to. I still remember the first time we had a wedding where we sent out another person to help us do the photography. I was so nervous. In my mind, I was thinking, oh crap, what if they miss the entire ceremony? Or what if they miss the first kiss shot? And so learning how to find good talent and delegating responsibility to other people is something that I've definitely had to learn starting my own business. And so I hope you guys got an honest and realistic look at what it's like being a lawyer working in the corporate world versus trying to start your own business. Sometimes quitting your 9 to 5 and starting your own business can be romanticized, and I think definitely our content is guilty of contributing to that fantasy. But at the end of the day, if you're weighing up between these two options, I think it's definitely important to deploy some sort of self-awareness. Some people are very happy staying working in a cushy corporate job. It's well respected, it pays well, and it provides security. But other people would prefer to hustle 12 hours a day working for themselves as opposed to working 8 hours for someone else. So everyone is different, and I think it's important to think about what might suit you best based on your personality traits. For me, it was all about seeing the people who are a few steps ahead of me and thinking to myself, do I want to be in their shoes in 5 to 10 years time? Take a hard look at yourself and be honest. If the answer is no, then rather than just accepting it, I would try to look for a way out. There's a book that one of our subscribers recently told me about called The Pathless Path, which really resonated with me. In the book, the author talks about two paths, the default path and the pathless path. The default path is the path that a lot of high-performing individuals embark on. They go to school, get good grades, get a high-paying job, climb up the corporate ladder, retire, and die. It's a predictable path and it provides a certain element of financial security and safety. And this was the path that I was on up until 2022. It would have been very easy for me to stay on the default path, to stay in my cushy, high-paying 6-figure corporate job as a lawyer and climb up the ranks until I retired. But I've always been the type of person that likes to seek new challenges, and I felt like this challenge of climbing the corporate ladder for the next 40 years just didn't seem to excite me. And so I decided to embark on the path which the book refers to as the pathless path. On the pathless path, the goal is not to find a job, make money, build a business, or achieve any other metric. It's to actively and consciously search for the work that you want to keep doing. So I pose this question for you. Which path is for you? The default path or the pathless path? Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys gained some value from my personal insights on both paths. Again, go check out all the links in the description box down below to our free resources, the free 7-day videography email crash course, the creator kit, and also our free S-Log LUT, and to our products and coaching programs, the Filmmaker Starter Kit, the Filmmaker Accelerator, and our one-on-one coaching program. Go check out this video on how I quit my job as a lawyer to start my own videography business. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay focused.